Okay, we are seeing what the broadcast will be all about and see whether it says we're live and so forth. And momentarily, we will know. So the event page is definitely saying live. It says the hangout will begin in a few moments. So it's taking its 20, 30 seconds or a minute or so before it comes live. But if it doesn't, I have a backup event planned, and so we'll see what happens. But you know that we're exceeding 2 weeks. We're going beyond the 2 week mark of me and you having perfect hangouts. No problems, comment trackers working. And if Karen were here, by the way, she's not here, will not be with us today. But if she was here, she would be crossing her fingers saying, "Oh, Taboo, you're going to jinx yourself." And indeed, that may happen, but I'll take my chances. I'm not very superstitious. So
Absolutely.
it
Yeah,
says
I'm
we're
sorry to
live.
hear that Karen's not going to be here today, just in case
Yeah,
somebody's watching. She's got the flu, so she chose not to be with us, and I hope she feels better soon.
yeah. And it looks as though, okay, we're past the minute mark and it's telling me that we're live, but I'm not sure it's gonna connect or not. Oh, guess what? Okay, so officially we are broadcasting live. How about that? I mean, I think that this is the seventh or eighth hangout in a row for me in the last 2 weeks that has worked perfectly, so to speak.
I have a funny hunch that when all these hangout glitches happened, 3 or 4 weeks ago, that the engineers were probably doing some type of updates. They tend to do updates like that, and they don't like make an official announcement. They just kind of do it, and that's just my guess as to why there were issues about a month ago. So.
Could be. Well, the good part about it is that now that they're fixed, everything that I've recorded in videos from Hangouts and taught people about, comment tracker and various things are all now pertinent and accurate as long as people follow suit and it benefits them. They can do the same thing we do. So who knows? By the way, we are starting officially in a minute. And in the audience, we already have WeWake, Bendor Rao, and Carlos Savio, and Loelan Fulsang, three of my favorite people who have actually been in Hangouts with us, and I think even on this show. So we've been in various circles and stuff, but any way you look at it, some well-rounded people in Hangoutsville, and glad to have you in our audience listening today. So seems like we're about 1 minute away. I won't waste any more time. Good day, people, and welcome to Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. This is the end of a three-part series on SEO and the various ramifications and categories that extrapolate out from the concept of search engine optimization. Hi, my name is Roland from R&D Hotline. If you have a question, call the hotline. And if you have additional questions, we're going to have you call Molly Youngblood Geiger. Say hi, Molly.
Hi, everyone. My name is Molly Geiger of Design Right For You in Jacksonville, Florida, and I am excited about this hangout today. We're going to be talking about online reputation management, what it is, how you can manage it, and how you can actually optimize your business for search when you optimize your online reputation.
Cool. And, as Roland is, as Roland does, and once again, I want to caution everybody to not think of search engine optimization, reputation management, and so forth as your first step. With business, there is a first step way before, and actually a couple of steps before you talk about refining your reputation online. And that is that you have to focus on your product or service and make sure it's the best that it could be. And so when you start with that, then you have something to advertise. People talk about being on page one of Google, and I always say, well, do you deserve to be on page one? Well, the answer could be yes, and it could be no. Lord knows there are a lot of people that don't deserve to be on page one that used to be. They could get there just by pumping keywords and doing various things and tricks of the trade. And lo and behold, Google is coming along with their animal updates, their bird updates, and said, no, you can't do that anymore. We don't like it when you cheat. And they call it black hat programming. So when it comes to all these things, we have to extrapolate it out on our entire campaign and all of the participles of our outreach, our videos, our social media, our postings at our website, and watch what we do. If we stick to a very high integrity format, we're going to do better, especially now that the marshals are out there and saying, we require you to be better. So if you have a good business and you can mount it on your campaign properly with the right things at the right time and link it all together, you could have something formidable. So today we're going to talk about reputation optimization and reputation management. And this is Molly's bag. So I'm just going to comment occasionally and I'm going to really turn you loose. And plus, this is very important. We are going to tell you about a challenge. And challenges are big right now. I want to just mention briefly that we have our show, What is the Positive, on Tuesdays. And we're doing a 30-day challenge to change your life there. So if you really want to do something that's going to influence your life, not your business necessarily, but it could be your business, we have a 30-day challenge for you. And several people are stepping up to the plate. As a matter of fact, Wake and Lowell Ann are both going to participate with us. So no further ado, we're going to turn the helm over to Molly and talk about reputation management and optimization. Go ahead, Molly.
Sure. So with online reputation management, there's several things that we want to look at. We want Google looks at us, and we want to look at how our customers look at us. And so with that, we want to make sure that we have several things in place. Hey, Roland, I think there you may have yourself white boxed. I'm not on the screen like I normally am. Anyways, so the way we do that is we take a quick snapshot of how does Google look at us first. So for my clients, what I do is I do an online reputation audit, and I look at, well, how do they look like on Google Plus, or how do they look like on YouTube, or what do they look like just for search. And so from there, I can get a pretty good idea of what's going on in terms of how does Google look at you as a business. And so what I'd like to do real quickly is do a screen share. And actually, this is a client of mine that I'm
I think that we may have a issue with yeah, sorry about that. I think that Molly had a throughput issue maybe with her bandwidth and may have dropped out momentarily, but she'll be back momentarily. So I'm not worried about that. And by the way, we're saying hi to Nathan Siegel. Thank you for coming today and showing up. I really appreciate it. And I really hope that Molly comes back, because I am not prepared to take over for her. You know what I'm talking about all the time, and talking about reputation management. It all gets down to about the integrity of the business in the first place. But she's the master at carrying the reputation online and extrapolating it out to be something formidable for people, and so that they can be effective online. So I could do a song and dance, but I'm not much stronger at that. I think she dropped out now and will be coming back in momentarily. Let's see. Who else? We actually have 22 people signed up to view this. And I know that half of those folks I already know are going to be watching in replay, but I really appreciate the fact, yeah, Wake she'll be back momentarily. but there have been some bandwidth problems, and the weather is not necessarily cooperating completely. I'm not sure exactly what her situation is, but the connection bandwidth removed her from the Hangout, but she'll be back momentarily. The funny thing is, this. Oh, hi, Jay. Jay Neal is in the audience, and he's coming to join us today. And I have really virtually nothing to say to you guys until Molly comes back. So we'll see what happens. And let's see. You guys got to get to know each other. Jay and WeWake, and of course Nathan and Jay know each other. But and so does Lowell Ann. But WeWake, you can definitely network with the people in the audience there and meet some really cool people that have some great ideas to help each other out there. So let me follow up momentarily. I'm sorry about the doldrums here and wondering what's going on and rolling rambling on. But we will see whether she'll be coming back in momentarily. And virtually, if I can ramble on for a few minutes, that's fine. But if I can't, I'll probably end the hangout. And I'd hate to do that because we had a really good program lined up for you. Molly is indeed trying. She lost her connection, but she's trying to be back in momentarily. And let's post the first comment regarding our subject today. So let's see what Jay Neal says. I think reputation management is extremely important and is a major contributing factor when it comes to SEO. And there's no doubt, Jay, that this is true. The one thing that I always caution people about is the management of a reputation can only exist if the reputation is worth being promoted, and whether you're worthy of things like page one on Google and that stuff. So it's very important. So we're going to talk to Molly momentarily, and she'll be telling more things about how this is done and the main things that we should be focusing on. And we have her trying to get back in. We'll see if she is able to do so. But thank you for commenting. WeWake says, Roland, be on the lookout for Molly Youngblood Geiger. She looking for the link back in? Yes, she is. The most nonsensical uh, hangout of my year so far. And but anyway, that's okay. Anything that I say would just be null and void as soon as Molly starts. So I'm not going to bother talking about reputation management. Besides, I'm really kind of a grassroots um, person when it comes to this and marketer, and is primitive compared to what Molly's going to deliver us today. So we're just going to hang out and wait. But we do have a problem with bandwidth. I'm not sure what how successful we'll be. Okay, she's trying to come back in. Oh, saying hi to Mike Shaler. Thank you for coming over. Surprised by the announcement that Google joined Yext. Let's see, let's post this so people can see this. Surprised by the announcement that Google joined Yext makes it a more viable product for us now to recommend to our clients. Anyone have any thoughts on that? We're going to ask Molly momentarily when she comes back. I'll see if I can work that into the actual itinerary for the day. We'll ask her specifically what she thinks of Yext, and that'll be in the midst of all this barrage of stuff that she has to deliver. Now, because of the bandwidth thing, I'm thinking that we might even allow 5 or 10 minutes overtime, which we usually do anyway. But we will allow her to speak because she's going to have more than can fit in 1 hour normally anyway. So it's kind of funny. It's like maybe the first hangout I've tried to maintain by myself. While we're waiting for Molly, I'll talk a little bit about my other show, which is called What is the Positive, which is focused completely on 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 positivity, the science of positivity and the science of positive thinking and how that can influence your life. You know how people can be very negative at times, and then other people are like, no matter what happens, they're very, very positive. Hang on one second, a message from Molly. Assisting her in just a second here. Hang on, folks, 1 minute. Okay. So anyway, what does the positive show has their 30-day challenge going on, and we're proposing that the sound vibrations, listening to certain soundtracks with certain vibrational frequencies, and positive affirmations, if done just before bedtime, can benefit the and influence your body vibrations so that it literally changes your experience in life. And so if you want to know what that's all about, you can find out more with What is the Positive. But in the meantime, I think that we've got Molly back.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I have no idea. My connection just dropped out, so I apologize for that. Yeah, before I was talking about is online reputation management. There's several different things we want to take a look at. The first thing I was going to review is Google My Business. Google My Business basically is your business listing on Google. It's something you can go Google it and get on there, but essentially use the exact same account that you have with Gmail or on Google, log into business. And you want to claim our listing. It's very important to do this because whenever you claim your listing, you actually get verified with Google, meaning when you get signed up, you're going to include information like your phone number, your email address, your location, address, business hours. You can do an introduction about, you know, what your business does, what products or services it sells, and you can include photos. And so what happens is once you go there and you include all this information, you will request a verification. And what happens is you will receive a postcard. It's usually sent within a couple of weeks of claiming your listing. And then once you get that postcard, you're able to go back into Google My Business and verify it. So this is an important thing. A lot of business owners may not even be aware that Google My Business is out there, but it is, and it's there for a reason because Google wants you to register your business with them. So you might wonder, well, what's one of the benefits of claiming my Google My Business? One of them is it helps with local search optimization. I know in a couple last hangouts we talked about search engine optimization, local optimization, and we talked about the snack pack. Well, the snack pack are search results that appear in between paid advertising, AdWords results at the top of the page and organic results. So that's one of the ways that Google pulls information about a business is from Google My Business. So the next thing that we would want to talk about is what is a business owner doing on Google+. And Google+ is Google's social platform. But at the same time, it's also a way to market your business. And so one of the things we want to do is we want to make sure we're posting to Google+ regularly. And not only posting to Google+ regularly, but within our titles, we want to include certain keywords that maybe you're in a specific geolocation, you want to include that, or you have a certain product or service that you sell. We want to make sure and include that product or service within the title of that post on Google+, because those posts actually get indexed pretty quickly. I mean, literally within hours, that post can get indexed. And from there, that's another way that we can optimize our business on Google+, because when somebody goes to Google or Google+ and they type, you know, whatever product or service they're looking for, your post could potentially get indexed, meaning it could turn up as a search result, which means if it does, and the difference between an organic and a Google Plus post is it actually displays a picture of your business. So from a search perspective, if you're looking at search results and you see an organic result, which doesn't display a picture versus a Google Plus post that does, people tend to gravitate towards those posts that have that picture next to them. So it's another way a business can effectively market themselves online, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. It just really is the investment of time to come up with the post and to post regularly. That's one thing I can't stress enough, is to make sure and post every day, if not, maybe 2 or 3 times a day. So, hey, Roland, I just wanted to mention I'm not showing up like on the Hangout like I normally do. I don't know if you've got yourself white boxed, but I'm not showing up, at least on my end. I don't know.
So actually, I did not white box myself, but I am now white boxing you.
That's interesting. I think Hangouts is having some quirks again today. I don't know. It's definitely been a different kind of week.
Plus, there may be a problem with the bandwidth for you. Sometimes your vocal recording comes out a little bit warbled in the broadcast. So
well, I apologize for the quality, folks. I'm out in the middle of the sticks, and the internet connection just does not get out here. Google Fiber is actually coming here soon, and I personally cannot wait because I'm tired of the slow internet connection. But anyways, getting back to what we were talking about in terms of online reputation management, we also want to examine what does our business look like on YouTube in terms of, well, do we have a channel claim? Have we created a unique URL for our channel? Are we posting videos regularly to our channel? And what kind of videos are we posting? This is something I share with a lot of my clients is, a lot of people, they tend to kind of freak out when you say, oh, I'm going to record a video, and they're camera shy, and maybe they don't want to get in front of a camera. Maybe they don't realize the importance of video. But one of the things that I tell people is, video is a very effective way of communicating your message very quickly at minimal cost. Kind of the same scenario with Google Plus, where, well, Google Plus is Google's social channel. So same deal with YouTube. YouTube is the world's second largest search engine. So it would make sense to me, that if you're going to market yourself, YouTube would be a good vehicle to do that, because it's free, except, like I said, for the cost or the time that you have to invest setting up your Google Plus. Same deal with YouTube. It's just an investment of time going in there, getting your channel set up, claiming it, putting videos on there, and then same technique that we use for Google Plus posts, we want to use for our YouTube videos, meaning we want to include specific keywords about our products or services, and possibly geolocation if you're specifically targeting a certain region, to where we can optimize those for search. Same deal. Google goes out and they index YouTube videos. So it makes sense that if we include those keywords within the title of the YouTube video, that they're going to show up for search results. And it does the exact same thing that Google Plus does. It shows a little picture of the video. So again, when you're looking at search results from a laptop or a desktop, people tend to gravitate towards that post or the YouTube video that has a little image of the video. So from there, we can actually optimize a video on YouTube. We can include keywords. We can put it in a certain category. And a lot of people, and I've seen this happen time and time again, business owners, they'll go through the effort of recording a video, uploading it to YouTube, and then that's it. They don't program any keywords. They don't put it in a category. They don't use keywords within the title, and the video just sits there. It doesn't do anything. And this to me is a tragedy, because that video potentially could be marketing the business in terms of, you take that same video on YouTube and put it on your social networks. Be posting that video out to where people can see, oh, there's a video about this particular product or service. Maybe I want to click it and watch. Now, for mobile optimization, videos are an excellent way to market yourself to people on mobile. Think about it this way. If you're on a mobile device and you're doing a search and you come across a video versus a website and you want to learn more about a business, it makes more sense to me to watch a video because you just click a play button and then you learn information about the business versus going to a website and you have to open it up, you have to go through navigation, you have to read through a bunch of text. So in terms of mobile marketing, Google Plus and YouTube are a great way to market your business on mobile devices as well. So for that, we want to examine knowledge graph results. And knowledge graph results or a knowledge graph card is something that they started back in 2012. Google started it back in 2012. And it really is just a collection of information about your business. Typically, it's going to have the name of your business, information about your address, phone number. If you have any reviews on Google, they will display a couple of views, kind of preemptive, and then they'll say, hey, there's 10, 15, or 20 more reviews of this business online. And then from that, again, we can take that search. And it's really simple. It's just going to Google, typing the name of your business. It's pretty easy to do. Once you go and you type the name of your business in Google, it will populate your knowledge graph card in search results. You can actually literally go copy and paste that link and then share that link on social media so that you're taking a search result and you're actually sharing that across your across your social channels so that you can learn about your business. So one of the things I noticed earlier this week, I was doing an audit of a client of mine, and they now have a brand new result for the knowledge graph. And that result was a mobile share link, meaning it had a little icon of a phone and it said share it to your mobile device. And I thought, wow, that's brand new. I've never even seen that before. Wow. And so I went ahead and I clicked it to see what would happen, just to see what would happen. And within not even 5 seconds, I got a message, a notification to my phone about that business. I thought, wow, isn't that brilliant that now the knowledge graph results are actually interacting with mobile devices? Again, I keep talking about mobile. It's all moving towards mobile devices. So it's one of those things that, just mere fact that they've taken the time to program that feature onto a knowledge graph card tells me even more that it is imperative for a business to make sure they are mobile friendly. Yes.
Okay, I'll pause you for a moment here, and I wanted to update you with who's watching. Susan Joy Schleif has joined us, Stellian Mezen has joined us, and everyone in the comment stream are commenting just really helpful stuff. One of the things that WeWake says is that we might have to ask you to slow down a little bit because your voice comes out warbled, and the faster you talk, the more hard it is to understand you. So you might have to slow down a little bit because whatever we do get delivered, we want people to be able to understand it. And so
Sure.
that'll be handy. And in the meantime, I wanted to add to the queue here that Mike Shaler says, surprised by the announcement that Google joined Next, makes it more a viable product now for us to recommend to our clients. So in the midst of all these things, maybe you can mention Yext or talk about that. You don't have to do it now, but I want to make sure that we cover that. So that will turn you over to that. And also, Jay Neal made a comment regarding Google Posts, and the actual Google post will show in the search results if you are following that person. So on your own computer, if you're following that person, of course, they show in the search results. But at least it's accessible. And if people are posting stuff within your circles and within your realm of influence, it's going to notify you immediately. That's good because it keeps you in the loop with what your friends and what your associates are actually posting and saying about business and so forth. So that's a really good connection to be aware of. So back to you, Molly, and we can talk about what your next subject is.
Sure. Just to quickly address both of those comments, yes, that is true. The Google Plus post will only show up for people that you circle, but you have to imagine that you're out there circling people because they're not only people that you want to keep in touch with, they're people you want to communicate what you're doing online, whatever your business is. So that is absolutely true. And then regarding Mike's post regarding yes, I saw the announcement think it was a couple weeks ago that they had partnered with Yext, and I thought that was kind of interesting, just because that kind of goes into what we're going to be talking about next week, and I was planning on touching upon today, but your business listings, or your off-page optimization. And business listings, there's about 300 different business directories out there, that a lot of people, they may or may not be aware of. One of the things we want to make sure as a business owner is that we have claimed our business listings, and not only claim them, but make sure that the information on them is correct. I've seen certain instances in actual clients of mine, where I just did kind of a quick review. I went to some of the major ones like, Yelp and Super Pages, Yellow Pages, some of the well-known ones, and noticed that, just little things were off, like using the abbreviation road or RE versus ROAD. And you might think, well, why does that matter? Well, it actually does matter, because when a search engine indexes that listing, it needs to know, is this a road? And it doesn't acknowledge RD as road. So right there, if you're using abbreviations within your address, you're really actually hurting yourself, because of the fact that you can't optimize that business listing. So Roland, you said that Susan Joy has a question.
Yeah, and sorry about that. You caught me a little bit off guard, but I'm going to follow up and get this posted right here, because she had a question regarding the Google My Business page, and that is, if she works with clients online across the country, does it still make sense to set up her Google My Business page, and how do I do that without my address, since I work from home? And that's a good question, so I thought maybe you could address that quickly.
Sure, I actually get that question very often, and to answer the first question, yes, even though they're national clients, I still would suggest that they set their Google My Business page for the mere fact that it will help their online presence. And that's essentially what we're talking about, is online reputation management. We want to make sure every different way that we have to optimize the business online, that we're taking advantage of that. So they may serve a larger audience, like a national or an international audience, still claim your Google My Business listing, because of the fact that it's information that Google can index about the business. If you don't claim it, then you're missing an opportunity to share the information with Google. Now, to answer the second question about the address, I have dealt with that situation myself. I work from home too, and I struggle with the fact, I'm like, oh, do I want to put my address online for the whole world to see, or do I just want to ignore it and not take advantage of the opportunity? And I'm thinking, okay, well, this is going to go. Google My Business essentially gives information to Google Plus and Google Maps. So if I don't share my address, well, then I'm missing out on 2 more opportunities in addition to the Google My Business verification. So that's 3 opportunities missed if I don't share my information about my address. And I've had people tell me, well, what about if I use a PO box, or what about if I use one of the GPS or Regis addresses, or some of those other places that people use as a business address. And unfortunately, Google will not approve a PO box. They will not approve a PO box. And if you do decide to use, say, like a UPS store or a Regis office, you're actually hurting your business, because of the fact that when Google indexes that information and they see that address, guess what? They're going to index UPS or Regis. So essentially what's happening here is Google wants an address from you. They want to know your location. And it really is up to the business owner. I mean, it's their final decision if they decide to share their address. Myself, personally, I just went ahead and did it. I just went and said, you know what? It's my home address. Here it is. Here it is. And I personally have not had any problems, with people coming to the door or weird deliveries or anything like that, using my personal address. But, like I said, it's totally up to the business owner if they decide to share their personal address.
So, gosh, people are starting to really sound off in the audience. And Mike, he was commenting to Mike Shaler. Jay Neal says, regarding Yext, Google My Business has released their API code in which Yext has implemented into their dashboard. So that's good news and worth mentioning there. Also, Michael Thomas is joining us. Hello, Michael. I'm going to show your comment. Nice having you with us too. You are sharing some great information, Molly. And are you on mobile? Of course she is. And because I can't keep up with half of it. Sorry. Maybe. Oh, and in other words, are you broadcasting from mobile? No, I don't think so. I think you're on a standard computer. But
You can actually broadcast from mobile. I personally I don't like it because I don't get the benefits of lighting and background. I'm actually an RS in the Hangouts forum, and I have done many Hangouts. In fact, a couple of them on the Smarty shows I've done for mobile because I was traveling, and it was one of those things. I usually tend to use my avatar, just because, like I said, when you're moving or you've got things going on in the background, or you're in a public scenario where people could potentially, sirens, or who knows what's going on in the background. Those are all things I take into account because I want to just respect whoever's hosting a hangout, that I'm in a quiet, stable environment, to where I know none of that's going to happen. You can absolutely do a hangout from a mobile device. So. But going back to what I was talking about in terms of your address on Google My Business, and even going into Yext, that actually is a whole nother that's a whole nother hangout. But
oh, we had a freeze. One of the things that was
to quickly address that,
yeah, we have a bandwidth problem still. It's interfering with your vocal. I was not that we don't want to see you anymore, Molly, but what would happen if we changed over your situation there with canceling the video? Would it reinforce the vocal more? As she freezes on us. So we're dealing with a little bandwidth problem on Molly's behalf, but we'll hopefully get through this hangout either way because she's delivering a lot of worthwhile information. But let's see what happens. Anything, Molly? Well, you really find out what kind of a show host you have in front of you when everything goes wrong and he's sitting there by himself. It's okay. I'm not shy and I'm not worried about it. But while we're doing that, let's see. No new messages from the field. Molly continues to be frozen. If not, your mobile, maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is. We were kind of dealing with it before the program started, and Molly was having issues with it. So it is definitely something with her connection over there. And the last time this happened, it took about 3 or 4 or 5 minutes for Molly to reset up and stack the deck so she could climb back in the green room. So let's see what happens. In the meantime, I'll go ahead and unwhitebox her there. What a guess. Anyway, thank you, people in the audience, for showing up and putting up with it, with this. We actually have a lot of great people out there listening. I appreciate you showing up, and I appreciate your contributions too. I like to stick to the subject and focus what we do. Mostly when I post links out there, it's concerning what we mention in the broadcast itself. So I'd like to focus on that. So if you wanted to see if you wanted to go to Yelp, for instance, you could follow that link that I put in there and see what happens. And Molly is trying to come back in, so let's see what happens. How you doing, Molly?
I'm pretty frustrated with my internet connection right now, but
okay, we're making do. You're making a jerk out of me online, but no, that's okay. I'm carrying it over, so we're just saving this space until you get back here. Do you remember where you were? You want to carry on?
Yeah, so I believe I was talking about Yext and their platform. I know, oh gosh, this is 3 years ago. I was looking at a client of mine here locally, and I actually went to our office and we started looking at our online reputation, started looking at our business directory listings, and it was just a mess. I mean, there were wrong addresses, wrong phone numbers. They had some type of voice tracking number on some of the listings, which she wasn't even using. It was horrible. I mean, it was just a mess. And I thought, oh, well, you know, I'll take on the challenge of going in and fixing all these business listings. That was a big mistake. It took me months of going in and trying to optimize all of her listings, making sure her name was right, her address, phone number, all that stuff. And so finally I stumbled across Yext, and I thought, hey, this is a pretty good solution. So I went ahead, became Yext certified, you know, advised the client what was going on with this particular software, and you know, signed her up, and we got, for the most part, most of her business listings. Now the thing with Yext is they don't address all the different business listing directories. They address mainly, I think it's like 50, 55, or 60 of the main ones, which is good. But I've actually been beta testing new software, which we're planning on announcing next week, that not only optimizes over 300 business listing directories, but it actually updates the data centers. And you're like, what's a data center? Well, there's 4 of them. There's 4 main data centers that they actually feed your business listing directory information to all of these business listing directories. So for all intents and purposes, it would make sense that we make sure that the data centers are correct as well. So this particular software I'm talking about, I've used it on myself. I've used it on a few of my clients. I usually like to test things out before I generally announce it to the public. And one of the things that I really like about this software is the thing about generating leads. That's a big thing for business owners. They're like, okay, well, that's all fine and dandy about my business directories and reviews. We haven't touched upon reviews, social, looking at all these different facets of how I look on Google. But what about my leads? How am I generating leads from reviews and social business directory listings? And so we want to look at how we can do that. And one of the features I like about the software is it has a dashboard that you can go in and you can actually put in certain keywords about your business, depending, whatever products or services you sell. And then you can aggregate tweets from Twitter and Facebook, or posts from Facebook, tweets from Twitter, and collect leads. And I've started using this myself. I've gotten several different leads this way. And I think it's really, really neat that they're actually able to aggregate this information and deliver it to the business owner. It's delivered in the form of an email. So whatever email address you associate your account with, you will just get an email saying, hey, you've got a lead. And from there, you just look at the email, look at the link, pop into the dashboard, and it will actually show you the actual tweet that somebody tweeted saying, hey, I need a website, I need SEO. In your particular circumstance, you might be selling something totally different. You might be selling different services or different products, but still, it's about the tools that are available to a business owner. And there was another tool I actually stumbled upon just as of yesterday. I use an app called Buffer App. It's a social media sharing app, and I've used it for quite a while. It's a great way to automate your social media posts. But one of the features they actually released just yesterday was something called Beyond. And I was like, I wonder what this is about. And so I went, logged in, signed up for the free version. And it was very interesting because it actually did the same thing in terms of aggregating information from Twitter. But instead of it aggregating information from Twitter using keywords based on your business, it actually pulled in tweets of people who had mentioned or followed you on Twitter. And I thought, wow, that's a really neat way to engage with somebody, because it actually, instead of the business owner having to go and stay on Twitter all day or Facebook all day trying to gather this information about, well, people are talking about me on Twitter or Facebook, or people are tweeting or posting about products or services that I might offer, both of these tools are a great way to actually engage with your social audience. So with Beyond, I'm still working with that. Like I said, I just stumbled upon it yesterday. But in terms of this other software, I personally have had a lot of success with it. Next week, we are going to actually be doing a challenge. We're going to be doing an online reputation management challenge on the Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties show, where all these different things we've been talking about today in terms of what do you look like on Google Plus, Google My Business, YouTube, how does your knowledge graph card look? We're going to be actually challenging you to look at that. And in addition to that, we're going to have an opportunity for you to run a free report, 100% free. It's a snapshot of your online reputation. It actually takes and looks across all your business directory listings, social media, your reviews. It's a very comprehensive report of your online reputation. Any thoughts or comments, Roland?
I'm sorry. I'm dealing mostly with the functionality issues and stuff like that. And so by the way, I did invite Jane Neal to come into the green room, not because we necessarily need anything that's on his mind, but I know that the guy is well versed in online marketing and has some really great ideas. So I trust him as far as his opinion. And in case you drop out again, he'll be there to probably bump in there and save me if we have to keep on going. So he may be coming in soon. But anyway, you can go ahead and carry on and cover your other points, or we can go on to the concept of your challenge if it's time for that.
Sure. Well, I mean, I just quickly wanted also to mention about reviews.
Yeah.
I get this from business owners a lot, like, oh, I've got all kind of reviews. It's all over my website. And I'm like, well, that's good that you got reviews on your website, but unfortunately that doesn't play into your online reputation management. The reviews that you're wanting to really focus on are reviews on Google, because of the fact that we want to make sure that, again, we're managing your online reputation. And if you've got reviews on your website, that's not a bad thing necessarily. But what I would actually advise is you contact those people that have posted a review on your website and ask them to see if they would actually post that same review onto your Google reviews, because of the fact that those reviews hold a lot of weight. That data, again, pulls into your online reputation management, and it actually pulls into snack pack results. So as I mentioned earlier, the snack pack results are those results that show in between paid and organic. And it's something that's totally free. So if a business owner does everything right and they're able to get themselves listed within the snack pack, that's like free advertising. I mean, it's something that just because you took the time and effort to manage your online reputation, you get rewarded for that. You get a listing in the snack pack results. So that's another reason why we want to do this online reputation management challenge, is because it's not only to assess what you look like online, but it's an opportunity to actually update how you look online. What can we do to maximize your online presence? What can we do to optimize reviews, or your Google Maps listing, or your Google Plus account, or your Google My Business, or how do you look on YouTube? It's an opportunity to go, well, yeah, maybe I could do a little work on my business listing directories, or maybe I could, use video marketing a little more. Maybe, I might reconsider, instead of, spending so much time on social, maybe I might want to focus on reviews or business listing directories. So social media, totally important for part of online reputation management, but it's something that you have to look at the big picture when you look at your online reputation. You don't want to necessarily just focus on Google Plus, or just focus on reviews, or just focus on Google My Business. It really is about the overall online reputation of a business, and social does play into that. There's Facebook fan page, you get reviews on that. We want to look at those reviews too. That, again, the software that I've been talking about actually pulls this information all into one nice, neat little package, to where instead of having to go here, 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 and here, all over the place, you can actually look at your online reputation as a whole, and then say, okay, this is my snapshot. This is what I look like to my customers. This is what I look like to Google. What can I do to optimize it? So I see we have Jay. How are you doing?
Hey, Jay, welcome. And
Hi.
so I'm going to unwhite box you now, and we're going to introduce Jay. Actually, this is Jay Neal, and for those of you in the audience who do not know who he is, please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself so people know who's in the green room with us.
Sure, absolutely. Well, my name is Jay Neal, and I hail from British Columbia, Canada, and I specifically deal with local marketing, dealing with franchise-based clients, and help them with their reputation management. and their organic SEO.
So you're a prime candidate to sit in on this. So if you have a comment, I invite you to join in and say what you need to say on various points, and we'll progress on. We've got another quarter of the hour to go. So do you have anything that you wanted to comment on that's been said so far?
Oh, really, it's just solidifying what Molly has been saying and just the sheer importance of reputation management. And regardless of whether, obviously if you're working with clients that are challenging in terms of reputation management. For example, I have a client that's a taxi cab company in the city that I live in, and it's certainly a challenge because, I mean, yeah, sure, they do a good job and they get from point A to point B, but anytime anyone wants to leave a review, it's usually the result of it being a negative review. It's very, very rare that someone leaves a positive review for a cab company, right? So that being said, I think it's just really important to educate your clients, to teach them about creating a funnel so that you can harness these reviews, you can get these positive reviews, and educate the drivers, saying, hey, listen, if you enjoyed our ride, we've got a QR code on the back of the cab if you want to snap that, and that could take you to our review portal and check it out and go from there. So
I really like your comment, Jay, about negative reviews and how to manage those and asking for reviews, and that's something I see a lot of business owners kind of missing the boat. You have to interact with that person right after they've had that experience. And the QR code example, that's a great example of how, again, mobile phone, people out and about doing their thing, they can take their phone, scan it, and they can leave a review for that business. So it's just great advice. One thing I would comment, the software that I've been talking about that we're going to be kind of diving into next week, it actually helps manage reviews, because like you were saying, sometimes you get negative reviews, and then sometimes you get really positive reviews. And so, for all intents and purposes, we don't want our negative reviews, just out there, hanging out there for anybody to see. So the software, it actually grades the review, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, and anything less than 3 stars, it just erases the review from your online reputation management. And one of the other things I like that you said was about managing franchises. I actually have a national client that they're franchises, their home inspection, and that can be a challenge too, because you got all these different franchise owners all over the United States, and you want to make sure that each one of them are doing the right thing. So again, going back to what you said about managing and making sure it's a complete picture, totally agree 100%. Great advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, review threshold. Sorry, I just wanted to quickly add what Molly was saying. Having a funnel system which thresholds the review system. So, anything 3 stars or below, the review will not get public. Anything 3 stars or above, the review will get public. Having an application or software like that is a huge benefit, and it also takes kind of some of the time off of us, as SEOs and reputation management and whatnot. So it's ideal to have applications or software, and there's actually tons of softwares and apps that can handle that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Someone said something earlier that was very important. WeWake said something about don't commit yourself to a campaign that is greater than your client's commitment to sustain it. And it was a very important thing. And so Jay follows up with a concept that really hits the root of where I come from as a marketer. And that is, you have to educate your clients. It's a perfect point. They have to know why you're doing the thing that you're doing for them and how important it is. Otherwise, why are they going to pay for it? They don't have the value, and they're not going to be supportive of you, and they're not going to realize how this influences their results. Yeah. So these are very good points to make. Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important, throughout the whole journey of working with the client, it's all about educating the client, educating in terms of making them understand the investment that they're creating with you is they're going to get their ROI, they're going to get their return on their investment. And so, if you're walking into working with a client where you have to explain what the ROI is, they go, oh, well, my brother's kid can do this stuff, and you know, so if you have to explain to a client, you know, how much money you need to invest and how you're going to get your money back, then you kind of know that there's going to be this ongoing support, education with that client. And I personally think it's totally fine, because, you know, educating the client empowers them and makes them feel more confident in your services.
Well, I would actually add to that, Jay. I totally agree about educating clients and explaining to them this is not a cost associated with your business. This is an investment. This is something that's going to yield a positive return, meaning long term. You know, we look at the short term scenario and go, yeah, upfront costs, so on and so forth. Yeah, it's going to cost me money. But if we look at the long term effects of what we do when we manage our online reputation, if you really think about it, it's almost like pennies on the dollar. I mean, if you think, you know, 6 months, 12 months out, and you've got your online reputation management optimized, and you know, you're across the board. You know, you're taking advantage of YouTube and Google Plus, and social media and reviews and business listing directories, and you really have got it going on in terms of managing your online reputation. Your name's going to be out there. You're going to become a trusted authority in whatever product or service that you offer. And in terms of that, when you have that type of reputation, it's something you can't buy. It's something you really have to work on developing, and it takes time. This is not something you flip a light switch and poof, you're this expert in whatever product or service or thing that you sell. You have to build it. You have to earn it. And when we take the time to optimize our online reputation across all the boards, that is the end-all reward. You become a trusted authority in whatever product or service you offer. And then in terms of new clients, new customers, your network or in the public in general, when they know, hey, I need online reputation management, I'm going to call Jay up. I know he does this for a listing. Or if I need a website, a WordPress website, I'm going to call Roland up. I know. I see his Hangout every week. That's what he does. So at least that's been my experience. You know, I kind of started off with social media, optimizing myself there, and then I came over to Google Plus and started optimizing Google Plus and YouTube and so on and so forth. And it really has been like this process that I've gone through in terms of just, you know, marketing my agency and what it is I do. But that's why I really wanted to talk about, you know, online reputation management today, because it is really important. You really have to look at how do you look to your customers? How does Google look at you? Because if you're not paying attention, you could, as a business owner, be missing out on a huge opportunity.
Yeah, so. And I think there's a lot of clients don't look at reputation management because they've been inundated with SEO rankings, top spot in Google and stuff. So, you know, sure, a client can get, you know, #1 spot in Google. They can be in the snack pack, those top 3 map listings, and you know, they have a horrible reputation of a business service, or people have left negative reviews, right? So,
well, I think as a business owner, you have to think about people in general. I mean, some people may be inclined to watch a video. Other people, they may want to go check out reviews. Other people, they might be on social media. So you have to kind of like look at everything in terms of we want to optimize ourselves for everyone out there who might be looking at our business. And that's why I'm really excited about next week's Hangout about the Online Reputation Management Challenge, where we actually are going to do a live Hangout. We're going to, you know, challenge you. Let's go to Google Plus, type in your business. What do you see? I've actually seen business owners, they've gone out and they've got 3 or 4 Google Plus listings. I'm like, this is confusing to your customers, people. People, they go type you on Google Plus and they see 3 or 4 listings. They're like, well, which one do I click on?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a problem.
Well, to that extent, I mean, the business owner can't be blamed entirely because of just the way that Google merges things and move things around in terms of Google Map Maker, Google, you know, Google Plus, and where are the reviews now and so on. And they've kind of distributed these listings everywhere. You know, how YouTube is now segregated away from Google Plus and whatnot. So, you know, at some point, people are just going to kind of, you know, go like, oh, all right, well, I'm going to hire you. You deal with it.
I get that often whenever I start talking about all the different aspects of online reputation management. It's like, this is just too much. This is, I need to be running my business. I don't have time for this. Just let's get it done. So totally agree with you on that. But I just quickly want to mention again to our audience, that we are going to have an online reputation management challenge next week. I invite you to participate. I invite you to invite your network to participate. It's going to be really important. It's going to go over a lot of definitive points about all the different things that we've been talking about today. And ultimately, the reason we're doing the challenge is we want to see you optimize your online reputation. We want to see you benefit from that and build your audience and get more customers and clients. So with that, Roland, do you have any final points that you'd like, or Jay, any final points about online reputation management?
Well, the only thing I wanted to say was just, take the time to respond to reviews, positive and negative. Because if you're working with a client or your client is replying to reviews, I think it's really important to reply to the negative ones as well. Try to move the conversation, to a phone call or an email or something like that when it comes to the negative reviews. And when people looking to hire you see this, they're more likely to go, okay, well, they actually care about, what's going on with their business, and they're more likely to get calls. So.
Exactly. Totally agree with that.
Very good, very, very good point. And I would dig down a little bit deeper into the roots of the matter too. And the Japanese, not that I'm so hooked on my culture or my national conviction there, but the Japanese have a tradition in their business communities called Kaizen, and the concept is a never-ending improvement, and then constantly focusing something on development, redevelopment, improving their quality of their product or service. And that is something that we should all be concerned with. If you want to be on page 1 of Google, you better be improving your product, because there's a gazillion things coming out that are going to be better than you if you let them be. So you have to do better. You have to be on the cutting edge. You have to know what's going on. You have to know the internet environment and the communicative devices, and your product that you're advertising on those things has to be good. So when would you ever abandon the concept, well, let's see, I created this widget and it works, so I'm just going to put it on the market and sell it for the next 20 years and make $1 million bucks? Well, lo and behold, there are going to be 20 million widgets above your widget if you stop developing. So let's remember that we always have to pay attention to what it is that we're serving, what it is we're delivering to people, and concern ourselves with the quality and service of our own product and brand. So that's my message on the top of that. But I mean, I think we're kind of wrapping it up. I wanted to summarize by saying thank you, Jay, and thank you, Molly, for bringing a lot of great information. And next week, we're going to actually institute a challenge. It's not any big challenge as far as days worth of work or anything, but it's basically doing a few simple steps and getting a few simple results that are extremely revealing. And so we're going to have the SEO Reputation Challenge coming up next week. We'll have an outline and a descriptive measure and a checklist for you to follow. And those of you might as well do it. I'm going to do it. I mean, we're going to find out something about ourselves so we know where to go from here, because there's no reason for this show if we're not going to learn something and change what we do. And we're learning stuff now, so it should change what we do so that we improve our online presence. And that's what the Smarties is all about. The Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties is an educational-based platform based on acquiring new information and what is the word? I can't even think of it. Basically, reviewing what's out there and bringing it to you so that we can learn the cutting edge of what's going on in the internet marketing world. And so I thank you guys for being with us today. This is Roland signing off for Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. See ya.